All right, we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Okay, my name is Kristen May. This is May Love Light. Welcome to another Mindful Monday. how how are we? Um, so for today, I wanna we're gonna talk about being in wise relationship with ancestors. Um, Before we do that, I have a little share I want to offer. Mm. Reminder, I got respiratory challenges and I may cough. We'll see what happens. Just bear with me because this morning was rough. All right. So, where am I located? I am currently being held by the lands known as Wawetanong to the Three Fires Confederacy. Um, Wawetanong was named by the Anishinaabe people. Anishinaabe people, also known as the original people, which are made up of three tribes: the Chippewa, the Ottawa, and the Potawatomi. Those of you who have read Braiding Sweetgrass are familiar with probably, most likely, Potawatomi. So these three tribes, they came together and formed the Three Fires Confederacy, and they were able to hunt, fish, trade, farm, and live on these lands. These lands are also known as Detroit, Michigan, which is where I'm located. And Detroit is also Detroit, which means the three in French. And so I want to share a little bit more. So of these three tribes, they each had a responsibility. The Chippewa, they are the keepers of medicine and faith and ceremonies and song. The Ottawa are the keepers of the trade, providing food and goods to the people. And the Potawatomi are the keepers of the fire and of the culture, and keeping the flame burning of their history for the present and the future. Right now in Michigan, there are 12 federally acknowledged tribes, and I'm guessing there's many more. The process to actually become federally recognized is quite rigorous and it can take decades to be recognized. And when you're recognized, you're able to govern yourselves and you're actually able to get aid um, from the government. Mm. Why am I sharing this with you? So, I am in a leadership program, and we had an exercise to like offer a land acknowledgement when we are facilitating. And so, if you've been watching my videos, you've noticed that I've offered land acknowledgement as a way to definitely bring voice to these people who are still stewarding these lands. And many of the lands that we are on are stolen. And so, as I was going down the rabbit hole, learning about Michigan, because that's where I reside in, it just, I felt a lot of shame arising, mainly because growing up in Detroit, I don't ever recall learning about the indigenous people of this land. And I just really felt far behind trying to learn about this, yeah, today or like in recent days. And my family, we're from Jamaica, so it just made me feel like I was like, "I don't really know anything very much about the native people of Jamaica, the Tainos." And so I started learning more about the Tainos. Excuse me. And so, I actually have a couple of videos linked in the description that talks about, some like, the truths of Christopher Columbus and the Tainos when he came to the Americas, if you'd like to take a look at that. And then also, I feel like when people who are familiar with Tainos, they associate like Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico still has a Taino presence. And I recently learned that the Virgin Islands also has like Tainos present as well. So there's another video there that talks about the Virgin Islands, Tainos, and their journey as well, which is beautiful. One of the things I guess the myths was that the Tainos of Jamaica were completely decimated, and that I mean, there is some truth to that, but many of them were captured and kind of went into slavery. They, like, reclassified them as slaves. Nobody's gonna hold people accountable like, "Hey, you're slaves, like, why they don't look like the other ones?" Like, nobody's gonna be sitting there telling like, doing quality checks on, people that you captured. And so there are people who, if they did, like, an ancestry type, like, you know, not really Ancestry.com. Ancestry.com is much more for people from the States. International I mean, some people get successful, results with Ancestry.com international. You just have to pay for a lot of the things. But anyway, I digress. They may actually show up like, indigenous within the that so anyway, just wanted to share a little bit about these amazing indigenous people who steward the lands and just really paying respect, homage to them. Mm. Another thing that it's like, what does solidarity look like? You can donate your time and money to indigenous-led organization. You can also like amplify the voices of indigenous people who are leading grassroots change movements, and also returning land, if that's something that you're able to do. Okay. This is the end of my PSA. Let's talk about our ancestors. Mm. So, when I say wise relationship with our ancestors, what that comes up for me is just like, mm, my perception, my understanding, my felt sense of it has changed. I felt like, like ancestors are in the past, these people who did all these things for us, and maybe they were great, maybe they weren't so great. Um, and I actually look at them now as a great resource, especially as we learn more about like intergenerational trauma and how we being the people. There are studies that talk about like you can actually experience your body can hold trauma from past generations, and so I just feel like pulling on the support of these people from the past generations is a very, wise wise thing to do, so we're not doing it by ourselves. But the thing is, not every ancestor is in good faith, so you wanna make sure that you are calling upon the well ancestors that are here to help you benefit to your highest good. Um, yeah, so, there are ways my journey, I actually read the book Ancestral Medicine by Daniel Four. Um, and then I actually contacted a practitioner of that um, methodology, I guess, and went through the process of kind of connecting to my ancestors that way. There are so many different ways, however you want to, or however you have been connecting to them. I have an altar. That's another thing of just like paying respect, acknowledging them and having them with you. When I travel, I have a little like light. This is my little like my altar light. I have little things in here. I have a piece of paper that lists some of my ancestors and some crystals and some different things of significance to me. And I'll set that up wherever I end up because I travel quite a bit. Um, yeah, and so I really feel, as I've been developing my practice, I really dived into this in 2020. Um, and since then, I really felt it really grow and deepen. And something I can say is like, I never really feel alone. Like, I feel supported in a way that's like unseen. And yeah, it's just a really great feeling. And so just really wanting to acknowledge them and pay respect. And I have like an ongoing conversation with them. It's not I just call someone I'm referring to ancestors. Yeah, so ongoing conversation. I'm in a continuous dialogue with them. It's not just phone them up when I need something. And so, yeah, I just feel really supported by that. All right. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Let's go into a little practice, shall we? I'm drinking tea and it's making me really warm. It's good though. Yeah. Mm, it's lemongrass tea. Jamaica, we call it fever grass. It's good for respiratory as well, my mom says. So I am drinking it. Yum, yum, yum. All right. I'm standing up today. I just felt like I needed to do that. Um, I feel like I want to do a grounding practice. Um, so if that is of support for you, feel free to join me. Um, hmm, just ooh, mm, just making sure if your body needs a little few stretches before we start. I feel like I want to move for this practice, so that's what's coming up for me. Hmm. All right. So first thing, we're going to orient ourselves. Orienting is a great way that we allow ourselves to settle in the body a little bit more. Um, excuse me. Okay. All right. You can start, if you haven't already started orienting. You're looking around your space. You can look behind you, looking to the left, to the right. You can look below and above as well. And what you're doing is just allowing the eyes to see into the space, and like you're not placing any judgment on what it is that you're seeing. It's just taking in, knowing that you're safe enough in this space for this practice that we're about to do, or we're actually already doing it. Okay. And when you're ready, you can come back to center. All right. I just feel like I want to roll my shoulders a little bit here. If you feel like that would be supportive, you can do it too. I'm doing it back. I'm going to do it forward. Excuse me. Stretching one side of the neck. You can kind of rock a little bit forward and back. Noticing if you're clenching your jaw and seeing if you can soften that. Okay. Come center and go to the other side. Okay. Whew. One side is much tighter than the other. And that's okay. Whew. And as you're doing this, if you're standing, if you're seated, wherever your body is making contact with the earth, or maybe the chair or the cushion, just bringing your attention not only to the muscle that is stretched, come back to the center, but also to your feet or to your seat. Just noticing the pressure at the bottom of the feet or noticing the pressure at the bottom of the seat. Allowing yourself to root down. You can place your hands on your abdomen and maybe soften the stomach a bit, noticing how that feels. I noticed when I softened my stomach, my breath got a little bit shaky, which is an interesting observation. Mm. Trying my best not to start going into judgment around it, coming back into this present moment with you all. And as we take each intentional breath, notice if you can soften the body a little bit more. Like I had a lot of tension in my shoulders. I'm just noticing if I can just soften them a little bit more as I exhale. Still being aware of the pressure of the bottom of the feet or the bottom of the seat. All these things can exist at once. And it's okay if it's challenging to observe the pressure of the feet while being aware of the breath in the belly or tightness in the shoulders or wherever in the body you might be feeling it. Are you clenching any other areas of the body? Seeing if you can soften that a little bit. And if you're having a difficult time, you can even just like kind of shake the body a little bit. I'm kind of shaking my legs, and then we'll go back into stillness again. A little shimmy for you. All right. I'm going back into stillness. Noticing stillness is not rigid. Like you can still sway like a tree. Your body's always making micro adjustments to maintain the standing cross posture, or even when you're seated, there's all these different movements that are happening in the body to maintain an upright position. Yeah, and as the mind wanders off, we're just gently guiding ourselves back to this experience, noticing the pressure of our feet on the ground, or your seat in the chair, or maybe your seat is in the cushion, wherever you're making contact to the earth. I notice I got some pressure in my lower back. So I'm gonna just take my hand and one hand and bring it to my lower back. And I'm gonna take the other hand and bring it to the front, the lower abdomen, and just placing a little bit of pressure there. And just breathing into it. And just allowing the body to kind of show me what it needs. Mm. Okay. Can release the hands. Can do a little gentle shake of the arms. And then allow the shaking to come up to the shoulders. And then allow the knees to soften. Bounce a little bit. You can shake the legs. Okay. When you're ready, you can come back to the stillness. Oh, mm, okay. Coming back into the space if you haven't already. I just feel like putting my hands on my cheeks, so I did. This feels supportive to me in this moment. So yeah, that practice was quite organic, just allowing the body to kind of like it started off as a grounding practice, and then as doing the grounding, it was just like noticing these different parts of the body that was holding some tension and just allowing and inviting the body to soften in a yeah, kind of surveying and softening. What's the name of that practice? Whatever you like to call it. Grounding and surveying. I'm looking for my there it is. I was looking for my case to clean my glasses. All right. If there are any questions, please feel free to share in the chat, or you can share in the comments if you're watching this at a later time. You can also send me a message. Information is in the description. Um, yeah, if you are curious to learn more about the people who the native people who are stewards of your land, I have a website listed in the description that you can use to kind of kick off the search. And I have a couple of videos that talks about the Tainos. And the Tainos are indigenous people who um, were heavily in the Caribbean, but there's also a discovery that they were in many other places, like in the southern states that we know of. Um, so yeah, they were explorers. Uh, yeah, and then also if there are ways that you can start establishing or deepen in your practice connecting to ancestors, always like keep in mind to call in the well ancestors that are there to benefit you for your highest good. Yeah, because not every ancestor has your best interest. Um, and once again, the book that I read that kind of began my inquiry of connecting with my ancestors is called Ancestral Medicine by Daniel Four. And yeah, I'm just feeling into if there's anything else I'd like to share. I am thinking about changing the time of Mindful Mondays. I'm going to be switching time zones, and I don't have it in me to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to do this. I did that one time. There's a video with me wearing a bonnet. That was me at 6 o'clock in the morning, and it was rough. So yeah, I was like, not gonna do this again. So I'm feeling into what time that might be. Um, yeah, it would start most likely in November, but I'll communicate it once I decide. Okay. Oh yeah, let's dedicate the merit. Um, any goodness that we've cultivated together today. Also, like setting an intention for the week. If there's anything that you like to focus on, I don't know, finding moments to connect with your ancestors. Excuse me. Okay, maybe you wish to set up an altar for yourself, for your ancestors. Yeah, just whatever it is that's coming to mind that you like to cultivate for the week. I would love to cultivate more consistent um, deep breathing, a more, I don't know, a more regulated breath, like a full inhale and a full exhale, because it's been doing some funky stuff. All right, that's my intention to breathe. Uh, all right. May any goodness that has come from us practicing together today be dedicated not only to us, but to all beings everywhere, seen and unseen. In particular, we dedicate this goodness to those who are suffering, especially those who are suffering under violence, racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, ableism, ageism, xenophobia, and all the intersecting oppressions. We commit to doing the work within ourselves and in the world of uprooting greed, hatred, delusion, so that our true heart's wish may come true, that all beings everywhere be free from suffering and pain. May all beings abide in the ease of well being. May all beings be safe from both internal and external harm. May all beings know connection, love, joy, and peace. And may all beings be fully liberated. Thank you. Take good care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all here next week. All right, farewell. Do 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 do.